Hi everybody and welcome to this video. In the previous videos, we had a look at what is probability and how do we calculate it for an event and what is an event. In this video, we're going to have a look at compound events. A compound event is when more than one event occurs. So here is an example. Let's say you are rolling a die and flipping a coin. That is an example of a compound event because we have two events, you rolling the die and the second one is you flipping a coin. So anything more than one, so 2, 3, 4, however many events is a compound event. And we want to know all of the cases that would occur from a compound event. All outcomes, so if you think about it, we can draw it in this table. So from a dice, you can get either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And from a coin, you can get either a head or tail. So you can get these over here, all of the possible outcomes. You can get a head and you can get a 1. You can get a head on the coin and a 2, a head on the coin, and then a 3 on the die, a head on the coin and a 4 on the die, a head on the coin and a 5 on the die, and a head on the coin and a 6 on the die. And the same thing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the die for a tail. So in total, you can get 12 possible outcomes. And it's very important for us to know how to get the number of outcomes from compound events. Let us look at an example. So the first one is list the outcomes for the following events. So flipping a coin twice. Now, previously I used a table to show all of the events. You can show it on a table again. So if you have over here your first coin and your second coin, on your first coin you can either get heads or tails, and on your second coin you can get heads or tails. So you can get a head on the first coin and a head on the second coin, a tail on the first coin and a head on the second coin, a head on the first coin and a tail on the second coin, and a tail on the first and second. So you have 4 possibilities. Doing it in a table is one way to represent the outcomes. You could also have a tree diagram, so showing the outcomes with branches. So you could have gotten a head, you could have gotten a tail. If you had a head, you're on your second dice, you could have still gotten a head or tail, and that's the same for that one. So here you have your head, 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 tail, tail, head, tail, tail. So it's a full first. It's the same outcomes, but different ways to represent it. So flipping a coin 3 times. Flipping a coin 3 times, it will be difficult to show on a table because the table allows us to show 2 events. So it would be best to use this other method with the tree. So we have a head or a tail. This is from the first coin. And then you can flip it again. So you can get a head or a tail in each case. And this is the second coin, but now we're going to flip it again. So you're going to get a head or a tail for each outcome. So you could get the first one, the first combination could be head, head, head. So you get heads 3 times. You could get head on the first, head on the second, and tail on the third. So heads, heads, tail. Then you could get heads, heads. So we finished this branch over here. So let's move on to this path. So you could get heads, tails, heads, heads, tails, tails. So we finish with this whole path. And then we move on to this one here. So we get tails, heads, heads, tails, heads, tails. And then we're done with that piece. So let's go to the last one. So we tails, tails, heads, tails, tails, tails. So we have 8 outcomes from flipping a coin 3 times. So rolling a 2-sided dice, rolling 2 4-sided dice. So this one here, you could represent on a table again. So you can have the first dice and the second, you can get 1, 2, 3, or 4. And here you can get 1, 2, 3, or 4. Sorry, this table is not the world's perfect table. most perfect table, but it does the job. So for the first one, you could get a 1, 1, so 1 on both, 1 and a 2, 1 and a 3, 1 and a 4, 2 and a 1, 2 and a 2, 2 and a 3, 2 and a 4, 3 and a 1, 3 and a 2, 3 and a 3, 3 and a 4, 4 and a 1, 4 and a 2, 4 and a 3, 4 and a 4. So 16 different outcomes. Can you not put an exclamation mark? So there's 16 different outcomes from 2 4-sided dice. Okay, so I hope that you've understood this and you know how to break it up. We'll have a look at more examples on both calculating probabilities related to compound events and using tools to help us understand the outcomes for compound events. Please watch the rest of our series and thank you for watching. Bye.